What's poppin', everybody? It's your girl Princess Joy 704 with another Warframe video. So today we're going to be talking about Deep Archimedea and Temporal Archimedea. I notice people in my community or people that come to um, comment on my videos, anytime it's related to Archimedea, people are either confused or don't know what it is, or uh, maybe a bit scared to do it. And I understand the scary part. In this video, we're going to break down Deep Archimedea and Temporal Archimedea. And of course, we're going to talk about the elite version for both of them. AKA, you may see me all the time talking about EDA and ETA. And so I will explain what that means and everything. Keep in mind, there going to be some things that you have to do in order to unlock Deep Archimedea and Temporal Archimedea. So I will be putting timestamps if there are certain things that you are particularly looking for, just so it can make it more easier for you, because I'm going to go in details as much as I can so everyone can pretty much understand what Deep Archimedea is and what Temporal Archimedea is, what's the best practice to get ready, and explain um, why everyone is crazy about these type of missions. And yeah, so let's get into it. We're first going to talk about Deep Archimedea. Right, so the first step into even unlocking Deep Archimedea, the first thing you have to do is complete the quest Whispers in the Walls. And then after you complete that main mission, you do have to rank all the way up, max up rank 5 with the caveat in order to unlock Deep Archimedea. So if you haven't done those first two steps, then I highly would recommend to do that first and then come back to this video. So what the heck is Deep Archimedea? So Deep Archimedea is basically sort of, as people say, endgame weekly content where you do 3 difficult missions back to back, while you're dealing with restrictions and modifiers to get better rewards. So the best way to think about this is sorties plus Netracells plus suffering equals better rewards. Yeah. So as stated, once you get to rank 5 with the caveat, Netracells will be unlocked. And these rewards, you can get a chance of getting some Archon shards, some Tau 4 shards, some arcanes, some adapters, and then you also can get extra caveat standing. All right, so once you first time coming up to Netracells, this is what your screen is going to look like. So to kind of explain each section and the better understanding. So this is just the regular version of Deep Archimedea. I will go over Elite Archimedea later on. So in order to get better rewards, because I mean you can go in here, you know, use any Warframe you want or any weapons, but if you're wanting better rewards and make your time worth it, then definitely pay attention to this. So the first section, and this rotates every week, so on every Sunday, depending on your time zone. For me, it's 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's when Warframe weekly rotation starts, and this is also resets for Deep Archimedea and Temporal Archimedea. So they're going to give you 3 different options for Warframes, for your primary weapons, for your secondary weapon, and then melee weapon. This is why it is very important to try to farm for all your Warframes, all the weapons, in order to be more successful with these type of missions. You'll just go in here and you'll look at the Warframe that you know for sure that you have maybe a better build than the other one. You feel more confident in that, and vice versa with the weapons as well. If you want to start off this way, I highly recommend that, to do it this way, because especially being new, because it is a lot. Right now the enemy level is between 250 to 275. Now if you are a little bit hesitant about doing Deep Archimedea, or if you want some type of practice to kind of get maybe a little bit of a feel of how difficult these missions will be. This is like a starter. This is me personally of how I kind of gain my confidence in doing Deep Archimedea. So there are search pulses that's linked to this Deep Archimedea and Temporal Archimedea, and you get 5 pulses. So for the Deep Archimedea, you will spend 2, and same thing for uh Temporal Archimedea. But with this, you can just use 1 individually. So if you want to just stick with this, then you could just have to do 5 runs, and that's it. And then it refreshes, until the weekly reset. So I say this because there are possible rewards where you can get um a Archon shard, a melee arcane, and then a Tau Fort arcane shard. And then the uncommon one is to get a melee arcane adapter. So it does tell you that this is very difficult. The difficult enemy level is a little bit lower than Deep Archimedea. It is between 220 and 240, and there are restrictions and stuff like that, as it says on the right side. Now, if you never did Netracells, so you go in and there are these keys that you and 3 other players have to equip. Some people, they like to equip all keys because they want to be a badass, but hey, let them do them, you know what I'm saying? But realistically, everyone's supposed to take 1 key, and uh you go around, you unlock these computers, you go to like this thing where you figure out which key works to unlock this chamber. And then once the key goes in, whoever has the right key, once it goes in, then you have to kill enemies in this red circle. And then after the level of the enemies starts decreasing, then the chamber is unlocked, and then you'll get your reward. And then you and your squad will have a possible chance of getting one of these rewards. So yeah, so I would say if you want some practice, do this, and then once you feel confident and you want to be like, hey, I'm ready for the next thing, then come on down to the Deep Archimedea side. The good thing about the Netracells, you could use whatever Warframe you want, whatever weapons, whatever you feel more confident in, so that way you can gain confidence in doing high level missions. All right, so back to Deep Archimedea. So we already explained about the loadouts that you could choose. Now the missions are going to rotate every week as well. So this week, and I already completed my Deep Archimedea, so that explains the check marks. But so we have a survival mission, and it actually goes through the details of each mission, because it's a little bit slightly different from the regular type of missions that you do here in the Sanctum. And then Alchemy, and then Mirror Defense. I will say Mirror Defense, in my opinion, is the hardest one. Well, no, it's the hardest, and then the Assassination is the freaking hardest. But, just keep that in mind. The search points down here, it basically tells you, same as all of them, that you have a chance of getting these possible rewards. So this is just, again, this is the normal version. Okay. So remember I said I'll get into Elite Archimedea? Yeah, this ish gets harder. But in order to unlock Elite Archimedea, you have to select these modifiers. So the modifiers are also in rotation as well. So for this week, for me, my modifiers were max health reduced each time health damage is taken, shield recharge delay increased 500%, using ability opens a void rift nearby, and then max energy reduced by 75%. So in order to unlock Elite Archimedea, you will have to select all these modifiers in order to unlock it. Now it will unlock once you complete uh like say for example this week I'm like, you know what, I want to unlock Elite Archimedea. So I would have to select all these modifiers, and then once I complete all 3 missions successfully, then the next week, the next rotation, I'll be able to select Elite Archimedea. And if you notice, when I selected the modifiers, this bar right here got higher. So as I mentioned in the way beginning of this video, the more harder the missions are, like the more restrictions and the more high level, the more chance that you might get some good rewards for each mission. So then, let's say the next week comes by, you're ready to do Archimedea. So then you will select Elite Archimedea. And you notice a change, right? You notice a change. So, so yeah. So not only did the bar rise a little bit, but the enemy level went up to 375 to 400. So it's getting crazy. But you notice that right here, the bar didn't select this. That's because I don't have the correct Warframe, the weapons, secondary, and melee weapon. So let me just show y'all what it looks like. And this is preference, but this actually helps me a lot. If you make a loadout, if you call it like Deep Archimedea and then another one Temporal, so that way you can have your separate loadouts for each type of Archimedea. Okay, so this was my loadout for Deep Archimedea for this week with Varuna. And then once I go to Netracells, he gonna talk. Just give it a second. All right, so now that I got the correct Warframe, the correct weapons, now that bar is all the way up and I have a higher chance to getting some decent behind rewards. So there's a chance that you might just get a arcane, or you might get uh a regular arcane, or a Tau 4, or you might get 2 Tau 4s, whatever, but it's a higher chance to getting some decent rewards. So yeah, so this is basically much it. And again, it does get a bit crazy. If you also notice too, when you do click on Elite, the risk, they add like an extra risk to this. So make sure before you even go in that you read the details and what you're about to get yourself into, and just be prepared. I recommend to do Deep Archimedea and also Temporal Archimedea with people that you know. Um, in my Discord community, I ask people in my community, hey, it's about to be weekly resets. Does anybody wants to join to do some Archimedea? And then it'd be down. We have fun. Even if we fail, we just start again, and it's fun. Um, there are some players out there that's a little bit mean. They don't understand that, especially for new players, that this type of mission is a bit difficult. So just be nice, everybody. Be nice. We all start from somewhere. But like I said, definitely it's definitely recommend to make sure you get all your Warframes, all the type of different types of weapons. They usually throw in some like older weapons as well, and you're just like, what the heck? So if that older weapon does have an incarnate form, definitely recommend to getting that. Getting some mods, if you could get a ribbon for that particular weapon, whatever you need to do, do it. So also too, the best time, if you do want to do this with some randos or whatever, Deep Archimedea and Temporal Archimedea are hot on Sundays and Mondays. For whatever reason, everybody just stops doing it or it might be a low chance of people doing it. And then sometimes maybe on the weekend or before the reset, then people will try to hurry up and do Archimedia before the reset. But yeah, that's what I know is that it's the best time to do it every Sunday and every Monday if you want to do it with randos. But if you do have a crew where y'all could do it on Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, then you know, link up and get it in. So yeah, so this is Deep Archimedea, and now let's get more into depth about Temporal Archimedea. All right, so before we even discuss about Temporal Archimedea, I don't want to spoil anything. So if you have not completed the Hex mission, I recommend to actually put a pause on this video, and then once you complete the Hex mission, and if you want to learn more about the Temporal Archimedea, then of course I'll explain how you can unlock it, and then the difference of Temporal Archimedea is from Deep Archimedea. All right, so we are here in Hovania, and let's talk about Temporal Archimedea. So before we even unlock Temporal Archimedea or anything with the Hex, because there is a certain mission that you need to do, you do have to rank up with the Hex all the way up to rank 5, because we got some other proto frames that will come into the game: Flare, Minerva, Velimir II, and then our most important girl, Kaya. Stop being lazy and rank up when you stand. All right, so once you rank up with the Hex all the way up to rank 5, you got your additional proto frames in the gang as always, well, in the mall. So you want to go to Kaya and click on Temporal Archimedea.
Velimir and Minerva are ready when you are. Stand by for temporal shenanigans.
All right, so if you just heard Kaya just saying that, in every mission that you and your squad go to with Temporal Archimedea, you do have some help from Minerva and Velimir. I mean, they, to me, it's like, are they there, but they don't really help. I mean, they help to an extent, but it depends on the little pecs things that you have, and I'll explain that in just a second. So, just like Deep Archimedea, this is what it looks like when you have not selected any of the corrected Warframes, the modifiers, and stuff like that. The enemy level, just the base, is between 350 and 375. So I ain't gonna lie, when I did unlock this, I was scared as hell because just because of the enemy level compared to Deep Archimedea, I'm like, so again, it's, you don't have to rush, or if you do have a squad that can help you out and to carry you, then go ahead and do it. And then one day you just feel confident and you just, go in with some randos. Now doing it by yourself, that's, you crazy for that. So just again, um in order to unlock Elite Archimedea, you do have to do the modifiers first. You have to select all the modifiers. So with Temporal Archimedea this week, for me, the ammo restored by drops and gear is reduced by 75%. Pickups do not heal, and heal orbs cannot be picked up. And then dual blades, negative 50% melee combo chance, so those combo chances are done for. And then casting ability reduces armor by 10% for 10 seconds. So once you put all those modifiers in, your chances of getting decent rewards, they'll go up. Now, the difference in this too, you can also get some possible Pelly picks. So these Pelly picks are basically some buffers that you can use. And you get them well, actually, once you complete the missions all together, you will get a pack. A Pelly picks pack. You just have to go to Kaya after you're done your Temporal Archimedea, and then you will go to browse wares.
Few things with ominous implications.
And this is This is actually a farming way to get the Arcane Universal Fallout, the Arcane Hotshot, and then the Arcane Skeptis. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but it's definitely a grind for sure. Because each of them costs 5 of these Pix chips. Or you can, if you have like 10, you can order a pack because these little stickers that you see, these little stickers that you can get, uh, to fully rank them, you have to rank them all the way up to 10. And so, like this, this cat scratcher fever. Every 20 seconds, an enemy within 30 meters is affected by sarin spores. If Minerva is assisting you, she receives revealing spores augment. So I will say, when you're about to do a mission, to add these stickers, if you do get them, you get um some cool stuff. I mean, there's some that I still haven't maxed out yet. They're like at 8 or 9, or 7, but they're coming in. So you just add them for each mission. So you just look at it and apply to um whatever mission you feel as though you will benefit from it. I would say my favorite one is where you can summon a Netracells for 120 seconds cooldown. So in case there's a mission where you just feel like, oh my god, this is crazy. However, and this is just my tip, if your modifier says that you cannot use your gear wheel, that uh pixie chip thingy, I keep forgetting the name of it, pixie pick, will be pointless because you can't use your gear wheel. So just be mindful of your modifiers, and then use whatever stickers, and just be mindful of that, because they do go hand to hand. And like I said, you don't want to put a sticker on there and it's kind of pointless when your modifier says you can't even use your gear wheel. So anyways, so in order to unlock the Elite Archimedea, like I said, you have to select all the modifiers. And then the next following week, next weekly rotation, then Elite Archimedea will be unlocked for you. So all you gotta do is just select that. And then your chances of getting better rewards gets higher, but then the enemy levels gets higher as well. 475 between 500. And then let me switch over to the loadout I had. All right, there we go. All right, so now we have the correct Warframe. We have all the correct weapons from the list that they gave us. We got our modifiers on. We got the Elite Archimedea on. So we are having better chances to get better rewards in a very hard and very difficult mission. So yes, and please, please, please make sure you read these details about each mission, especially the defense mission with Flare. Because sometimes with Flare, you and your other squad have to be around them in order for them not to die. So when I say this stuff gets crazy, it gets crazy, but it's fun at the same time. So yeah, so that's basically what Deep and Temporal Archimedea is. So now you know what I'm talking about when I say EDA and ETA. Okay, so one little tip that I do like to also add in, um before you even start your Deep and Temporal. And this is a chance, not guaranteed, but a chance that when you go to your helmet, there might be a chance that you have an invigoration for that particular warframe that is on one of your lists for Deep and Temporal. Again, it's not guaranteed, but it is something that you may want to look into before even stepping in. Only because they might have a buff where you be like, oh yeah, I need this. And also too, as you're doing Deep Archimedea and Temporal Archimedea, make sure you listen to the dialogues and stuff like that, because there are a little bit of lore in each mission, so you have a better understanding of the Sanctum or Helvania and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's pretty much it. I think I sum up everything, but feel free if you have any tips or anything that I miss out on, definitely comment below. And also let me know if this helps you out, if you have a better understanding of Deep Archimedia and Temporal Archimedia. And if you are scared to go by yourself, if you want, you could definitely join my Discord community. I will put the link in the description below. Just make sure that you are 18 or older and you do your introduction when you join in. So yeah, I definitely do this every Sunday. After I talk about my weekly rotation on live on Twitch, and then I squad up with 3 people, and then we can get our rewards and have fun. Uh, killing very high enemies. But it's fun. It's fun. Once you have a decent squad, it's pretty much fun. All right, you guys. I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. That does help out with the channel very much. So even just one comment, that helps out a lot. So don't think it goes unnoticed. I really appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all love and support as always. And until next time, I will see y'all in the next Warframe video. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.